The Galactic Council's ultimatum. The vast chamber of the Galactic Council hummed with tension. Representatives from 100 different species shifted uneasily in their seats, their eyes fixed on the towering figure at the center of the room. High Counselor Zaxthar, a being of living crystal and pulsing energy, raised his arms for silence. Esteemed colleagues, Zaxthar's voice resonated through the chamber, each word punctuated by flashes of light within his crystalline form. We face a crisis unprecedented in the history of our alliance. The swarm advances, consuming world after world, and our combined fleets have proven insufficient to halt their progress. Murmurs of agreement and fear ripple through the assembly. The swarm, a hive-mind species of insectoid creatures, had emerged from the depths of uncharted space 2 galactic years ago. Since then, they had carved a path of destruction across 3 spiral arms of the Milky Way, their numbers seemingly endless. There is, however, one option we have yet to explore, Zaxthar continued, his voice dropping to a near whisper. One species that has remained isolated, refusing to join our alliance or lend aid in our time of need. A holographic display flickered to life above the council floor, showing a blue-green planet orbiting an unremarkable yellow star. Earth, Zaxthar pronounced the word like a curse. Home of the species known as humans. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of voices. Some councillors shouted in anger, others in fear. The reputation of humanity was well known throughout the galaxy, though few had ever encountered them directly. Silence. Zaxthar's command cut through the noise like a plasma blade. I know the stories you've all heard. The humans are savages, warmongers who nearly destroyed their own world countless times. They are unpredictable, dangerous, and possibly our last hope. Councillor Ixal, a methane-breathing creature with tentacles for limbs, raised an appendage. High Counselor, surely you can't be serious. The humans have rebuffed every attempt at contact for the past century. They've made it clear they want nothing to do with galactic affairs. Zaxthar's crystalline form pulsed with determination. We have no choice, Councillor Ixal. Our analysts predict that without intervention, the swarm will reach the core worlds within 5 galactic years. We need the humans' technology, their resources, and yes, that infamous capacity for violence. The holographic display shifted, showing images of human history. Scenes of war and destruction flashed by, interspersed with incredible technological achievements, fusion reactors, matter transportation, and weaponry that made even the most advanced council races look primitive by comparison. But how do we compel them to join us? Asked Councillor Vreen, her feathers rustling with agitation. We can't simply ask nicely and expect them to mobilize their entire civilization for our benefit. Zaxthar's next words sent a chill through the chamber. We don't ask, we demand. We will issue an ultimatum to the human government. Join the fight against the swarm, or face the combined might of the Galactic Council. Gasps and exclamations of shock echoed through the chamber. Threatening humanity was unthinkable. It went against everything the Council stood for, and yet desperation had driven them to this point. High Counselor, Ixal's voice trembled. Have you considered the consequences if the humans refuse? If they decide to fight us instead of joining us? Zaxthar's crystalline form dimmed slightly. I have, Counselor, but I believe the humans will see reason. They must understand that the swarm threatens not just our civilizations, but theirs as well. And if they refuse, his voice hardened. Then we will do what we must to secure the weapons and technology we need to survive. The council chamber fell into an uneasy silence as the implications of Zaxthar's words sank in. They were about to gamble the fate of the galaxy on the response of a species known for its unpredictability and martial prowess. In the following days, a delegation was prepared. The Council's most skilled diplomats and military strategists were selected to deliver the ultimatum to Earth. Their ship, a sleek vessel designed to showcase the Council's technological superiority, departed for the Sol system with a mix of hope and trepidation. As they approached Earth, the delegation was struck by the planet's beauty, and by the extensive network of orbital defenses that surrounded it. Stations bristling with weapons and swarms of automated drones tracked their every move. Unidentified vessel, you have entered restricted space. A stern human voice crackled over the comm system. State your purpose or be destroyed. Ambassador Lyra, a telepathic being chosen for her ability to project calm and reason, stepped forward. We come in peace, representing the Galactic Council. We seek an audience with your leaders on a matter of utmost urgency. There was a long pause, during which the delegation held their breath. Finally, the human voice responded, proceed to the following coordinates. Any deviation from the designated flight path will be considered an act of aggression. As the Council ship was escorted to a massive space station in Earth orbit, Ambassador Lyra couldn't shake a feeling of unease. The humans' technology was far more advanced than their intelligence had suggested. The defenses they had seen were like nothing in the Council's arsenal. The delegation was met by a group of stern-faced human officials in crisp uniforms. Their leader, a tall woman with steel-gray hair, introduced herself as Admiral Chen of the Terran Defense Force. "Welcome to Earth," Admiral Chen said, her voice devoid of warmth. "I understand you have an urgent message for our government. Follow me." As they were led through the station's gleaming corridors, the Council delegates exchanged nervous glances. This was not the primitive, fractious humanity they had expected. Everything about the station spoke of unity, discipline, and technological prowess far beyond their estimates. They were brought to a conference room with a view of Earth below. The planet's surface showed no signs of the wars and environmental devastation their historical records had indicated. Instead, they saw vast cities gleaming with clean energy, reforested continents, and oceans teeming with life. Admiral Chen took a seat at the head of the table, flanked by other human officials. "Now then," she said, fixing the delegates with a piercing gaze. "What is so urgent that the Galactic Council breaks a century of silence?" Ambassador Lyra stepped forward, her telepathic abilities reaching out to project an aura of calm and reason. To her shock, she found her powers blunted, unable to penetrate the humans' minds. Swallowing her unease, Lyra began to speak. "Honorable representatives of humanity, we come bearing grave news. A threat known as the Swarm advances across our galaxy, consuming all in its path. Our combined fleets have failed to stop them. We, that is, the Galactic Council, formally requests Earth's aid in this fight." Admiral Chen's expression remained impassive. "And if we refuse?" Lyra hesitated, but High Counselor Zaxar's orders were clear. Then the Galactic Council will have no choice but to view Earth as a potential threat. We would be forced to take action to secure the resources and technology needed to combat the swarm. The temperature in the room seemed to drop several degrees. Admiral Chen's eyes narrowed, and the other human officials leaned forward, their expressions hardening. "Let me be sure I understand," Chen said, her voice dangerously quiet. "You come here, to our home, and threaten us with war if we don't fight your battles for you." Lyra felt a surge of panic. This was not going as planned. "Please understand, we don't wish for conflict, but the situation is desperate. The swarm." "We are well aware of the swarm," Chen interrupted. "We've been monitoring their advance for some time." This revelation stunned the Council delegation. How could the humans have known about a threat from so far beyond their borders? Admiral Chen stood, her posture rigid with barely contained anger. "You will return to your council and deliver this message. Humanity rejects your ultimatum. We will not be coerced into action by threats, no matter how dire the circumstances." But the swarm will come for Earth eventually," Lyra protested. "Surely you see that joining forces is in everyone's best interest." Chen's lips curved in a cold smile. "Oh, we understand the threat perfectly. What you fail to understand is that humanity is not the same species you so arrogantly dismissed a century ago. We have evolved, unified, and advanced in ways you clearly cannot comprehend." She gestured to the window, where Earth hung serene and beautiful. We terraformed our world, ended our petty conflicts, and reached for the stars. And all the while, we watched the galaxy, preparing for the day when threats like the swarm would emerge. The human admiral leaned forward, her voice low and intense. So no, Ambassador, we will not be joining your council. We will not fight at your behest. But make no mistake, when the swarm comes, humanity will be ready. And perhaps, if you ask nicely, we might even consider helping you. With that, Admiral Chen nodded to her subordinates. Escort our guests back to their ship. Ensure they depart our space immediately. As the stunned council delegation was led away, Laura couldn't shake the feeling that they had made a terrible mistake. They had come to Earth expecting to find a primitive, fractious species ripe for exploitation. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant, one that now viewed the Galactic Council with justifiable suspicion and anger. As their ship departed Earth's orbit, Lyra gazed back at the blue planet, a sense of foreboding settling over her. The Galactic Council had intended to secure a powerful ally against a swarm. Instead, they may have created an enemy far more dangerous than the hive-mind insects that threatened their civilization. The journey back to the Council's seat of power was tense and silent. Each member of the delegation knew that they were returning not with the solution to their problems, but with news that would shake the very foundations of the Galactic Council. Humanity, it seemed, was not the savior they had hoped for, nor the easy conquest some had secretly desired. As they approached the Council's massive space station, Lyra steeled herself for the difficult task ahead. She would have to inform High Counselor Zaxthar and the others that their gambit had failed spectacularly. And worse, she would have to convey the unsettling truth they had discovered. Humanity was far more advanced, unified, and prepared than anyone had imagined. The fate of the galaxy now hung in the balance, caught between the relentless advance of the swarm and the awakened giant that was humanity. The Galactic Council's ill-conceived ultimatum had set in motion events that would reshape the cosmic order, and no one could predict what would emerge from the chaos to come. Humanity's unexpected response. The Galactic Council chamber was in uproar. Ambassador Lyra's report had sent shockwaves through the assembled representatives, their voices rising in a cacophony of fear, anger, and disbelief. High Counselor Zaxar's crystalline form pulsed with barely contained fury. Silence. He roared, his voice echoing through the vast hall. As the clamor died down, he turned to Lyra, his faceted eyes gleaming. "Explain yourself, Ambassador. How could this mission have gone so catastrophically wrong?" Lyra stepped forward, her telepathic abilities instinctively reaching out to calm the room, only to be met with a wall of turbulent emotions. "High Counselor, esteemed colleagues," she began, her voice steady despite her inner turmoil, "the situation on Earth is not as we believed." She activated a holographic display showing images of Earth's advanced cities, orbital defenses, and the stern face of Admiral Chen. "Humanity has undergone a radical transformation since our last intelligence reports. They have unified their planet, developed technology far beyond our estimates, and," she hesitated, knowing her next words would cause further uproar, "they have been aware of the swarm threat for some time." The chamber erupted once more, but Zaxthar silenced them with a gesture. "How?" he demanded. "How could they have known?" Lyra shook her head. "They didn't say, High Counselor, but it's clear that humanity's isolation was not due to primitiveness or fear. They have been preparing, watching the galaxy, anticipating threats like the swarm." As the implications sank in, a chill seemed to settle over the chamber. Counselor Ixor's tentacles writhed in agitation. "By the void," he whispered, "what have we done?" Zaxthar's crystalline form dimmed, his usual brilliance fading as he processed the information. "We have made a grave miscalculation," he admitted, his voice uncharacteristically subdued. "Our attempt to secure an ally may have instead created a formidable enemy." "But surely," Counselor Vreen interjected, her feathers rustling, "humanity must see that the swarm threatens them as well. Can we not appeal to their sense of self-preservation?" Before anyone could respond, Alarms blared throughout the chamber. The central holographic display flickered and changed, showing a massive fleet of ships unlike anything the Council had ever seen, emerging from hyperspace at the edge of the system. Impossible, Zaxthar breathed. They couldn't have. But the evidence was undeniable. Somehow, in the short time since the Council's delegation had left Earth, humanity had mobilized a fleet that dwarfed anything the combined races of the Galactic Council could muster. As the Council watched in stunned silence, a transmission cut through their communications channels. Admiral Chen's face appeared on the display, her expression a mixture of determination and barely contained anger. "Galactic Council," she began, her voice resonating with authority. "This is Admiral Chen of the Terran Defense Force. Your recent actions have forced our hand. We had hoped to remain isolated, to prepare in peace for the challenges we foresaw. But your threats and your arrogance have made that impossible." Chen's eyes seemed to bore into each council member. "Let me be clear. Humanity will not be bullied, coerced, or manipulated. We will not fight your wars or bow to your demands. But neither will we stand idly by while a threat like the Swarm consumes the galaxy." The Admiral's image was replaced by a tactical display showing the human fleet's formation. It was a thing of terrible beauty, a testament to military precision and technological advancement that left the Council's strategists in awe. "We are here to announce humanity's emergence onto the galactic stage," Chen continued, her voice overlaying the display. "Not as your saviors, not as your servants, but as equals. We will deal with the Swarm threat, not because you demanded it, but because it is the right thing to do." The tactical display zoomed out, revealing the true scale of the human fleet. It was not just a military force, it was an armada of exploration, colonization, and terraforming ships. Humanity, it seemed, had come prepared not just for war, but for reshaping the very fabric of galactic civilization. From this moment forward, Chen declared, the Sol System and all its inhabitants are under the protection of the Terran Alliance. Any aggression against Earth or its colonies will be met with overwhelming force. However, and here her voice softened slightly, we also extend an offer of cooperation to those races willing to work with us as true partners in navigating the challenges that lie ahead. As the Council reeled from this pronouncement, Chen delivered her final, stunning revelation. "We have developed technology capable of communicating with the Swarm, of understanding their motivations. We believe a diplomatic solution may be possible, avoiding the need for a genocidal war that would ravage the galaxy." The chamber fell into shocked silence. The idea of communicating with the Swarm, a feat that had eluded the brightest minds of the Council races, seemed impossible. And yet, given what they had seen of humanity's capabilities, who could say what was truly impossible anymore? "You have one standard galactic day to consider your response," Shen concluded. "Will you join us in seeking a peaceful resolution to the Swarm crisis? Or will you cling to your outdated notions of galactic politics and risk being left behind as we forge a new future for all sentient beings?" With that, the transmission cut off, leaving the Council in stunned silence. Zaxthar, his crystalline form now pulsing with a mix of fear and grudging admiration, turned to face his fellow Council members. "It seems," he said slowly, "that we have a decision to make. One that will shape the future of our civilization and perhaps the entire galaxy." As debates erupted throughout the chamber, Lyra found herself staring at the image of the human fleet still displayed above them. She couldn't shake the feeling that they were witnessing the dawn of a new era in galactic history. The Galactic Council's ill-conceived ultimatum had indeed backfired, but in doing so, it had catapulted humanity onto the cosmic stage in a way no one could have predicted. The next 24 hours would determine whether this new chapter would be one of unprecedented cooperation or of conflict on a scale the galaxy had never seen. As Lyra watched the Council members argue and deliberate, she silently hoped that wisdom would prevail, for in the face of humanity's unexpected response, it was clear that the old ways of thinking would no longer suffice. The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see what would emerge from this crucible of crisis and opportunity. And at the center of it all stood humanity, no longer a myth or a potential ally, but a force that would reshape the very foundations of galactic civilization. The Quantum Nexus Gambit. As the Galactic Council grappled with humanity's unexpected emergence, a new variable entered the cosmic equation. Deep in the uncharted regions of the Orion Arm, a phenomenon unlike anything ever recorded burst into existence. Scientists would later call it the quantum nexus, a swirling vortex of energy that defied the laws of physics as understood by both humanity and the Council races. Dr. Aria Zhang, Earth's leading quantum physicist, stood before a holographic representation of the nexus, her eyes wide with wonder and trepidation. "It's beautiful," she breathed, "and terrifying." Admiral Chen, now overseeing Earth's combined military and scientific response, nodded grimly. "Beautiful, terrifying, and potentially the key to everything. What have you discovered, Doctor?" Aria manipulated the hologram, zooming in on swirling eddies of exotic particles. "The Nexus is a convergence point of multiple realities, Admiral. It's as if someone, or something, has punched a hole through the fabric of space-time itself." "Someone or something?" Chen's eyebrow arched. "You think this is artificial?" "I'm almost certain of it," Aria confirmed. "The energy patterns are too precise, too ordered. This is technology beyond anything we've ever encountered, beyond even the swarm." As if summoned by her words, alarms blared throughout the command center. Lieutenant Kira Nomura's fingers danced across her console. "Admiral, we're detecting massive swarm fleet movements. They're all converging on the Nexus." Chen's jaw tightened. "It seems we're not the only ones who've noticed our new neighbor. How long until they reach it?" "At their current velocity, 72 hours, Kira reported. "And the Council fleets?" Kira's expression turned grim. "Also mobilizing, but they're scattered. They won't be able to mount an effective defense in time." Chen nodded, her mind racing through scenarios. "So it falls to us." Again, she turned to Dr. Zhang. "Aria, I need options. What happens if the swarm reaches the Nexus first?" The physicist's face paled. "Based on our preliminary analysis, they could gain the ability to rewrite reality itself. Admiral, if they harness the Nexus, it's not just this galaxy at stake, it's everything, every possible universe." A heady silence fell over the command center. The stakes had just been raised beyond anything they had imagined. "Well then," Chen said, her voice steel, "we'll just have to make sure that doesn't happen. Kira, send word to the fleet. All ships to battle stations. We're making our stand at the Quantum Nexus." As Earth's forces mobilized with breathtaking speed and efficiency, the Galactic Council found itself in disarray. High Counselor Zaxar's crystalline form pulsed erratically as reports flooded in. "This is madness," Counselor Ixel gurgled, his tentacles writhing. "The humans can't possibly hope to stand against the full might of the swarm." "And yet they moved to do just that," Zaxar mused, a newfound respect coloring his tone. "While we debate, they act." Ambassador Lyra, who had remained with the Council to facilitate communication, stepped forward. "High Counselor, I've just received word from Admiral Chen. Humanity extends an invitation to join their defense of the Nexus. They believe this may be our last best hope for galactic survival." Zaxar's faceted eyes gleamed. "An invitation. After our misstep." Lyra nodded. "They say the past is prologue, High Counselor. What matters now is how we shape the future." For a moment, the chamber was silent save for the low hum of technology and the nervous shuffling of various alien appendages. Then Zaxar straightened to his full, imposing height. "Send word to all Council races," he declared. "Any who can fight are to rendezvous with the human fleet at these coordinates. It's time we proved ourselves worthy of the alliance we so arrogantly demanded." As the Council races scrambled to muster their forces, humanity's fleet took up position around the Quantum Nexus. The swirling vortex of energy dwarfed even the largest ships, its ethereal beauty belying the danger it represented. Aboard the flagship Terran Hope, Admiral Chen stood before a gathering of Earth's greatest minds, scientists, strategists, and leaders from every discipline. "I won't sugarcoat this," Chen began, her gaze sweeping the assembled crowd. "We face an enemy of overwhelming numbers, driven by a single implacable purpose. The swarm seeks to consume, to assimilate all in its path. And now, with the quantum nexus in play, the threat they pose has grown beyond measure." She paused, letting the gravity of the situation sink in. "But we have advantages the swarm lacks. We have diversity, of thought, of culture, of approach. We have creativity, the ability to innovate in the face of adversity. And most importantly, we have something worth fighting for, not just our own survival, but the survival of all sentient life across all possible realities." Dr. Zhang stepped forward, activating a holographic display of the Nexus. "We've been analyzing the energy patterns, and we believe we've found a way to weaponize the Nexus itself against the swarm, but it will require precision timing and a sacrifice." A murmur ran through the crowd. Chen's eyes narrowed. "What kind of sacrifice?" Arya took a deep breath. "To trigger the reaction we need, someone will have to pilot a ship directly into the heart of the Nexus. The energy release will create a quantum shockwave, theoretically capable of severing the swarm's hive mind connection across multiple realities." "Theoretically," Chen repeated, her voice flat. "It's our best shot, Admiral," Arya insisted. "Without this, we're just fighting a conventional war against an unconventional enemy. With it, we rewrite the rules of engagement." Chen nodded slowly, the weight of command heavy on her shoulders. "I'll do it." "Admiral, no." The protest came from multiple voices, but Chen silenced them with a raised hand. "I won't ask anyone to take on a risk I'm not willing to face myself," she said firmly. "Besides, someone needs to coordinate the fleet's movements to ensure the swarm is in position when we trigger the Nexus. It has to be me." As the reality of their plans sank in, a somber mood fell over the gathering. They were about to attempt something unprecedented, a battle not just for their galaxy, but for the very nature of reality itself. Outside, the first ships of the Council races began to arrive, taking up formation alongside humanity's fleet. It was an armada unlike any the galaxy had ever seen, a union born of desperation, hope, and the universal desire for survival. As the hours ticked down to the swarm's arrival, tensions ran high. Every sensor was trained on the approaching horde, every weapon primed and ready. In the shadow of the quantum nexus, the combined forces of Earth and the Galactic Council prepared to make their stand. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of the Terran Hope, watching the swirling energies of the Nexus. In less than an hour, she would pilot a specially designed ship into that maelstrom, hoping against hope that Dr. Zhang's theories were correct. "Admiral," Kira's voice broke through her reverie, incoming transmission from the swarm vanguard. Chen's eyebrows shot up. In all the recorded encounters with the swarm, they had never attempted communication. "Put it through," she ordered, her mind racing with possibilities. The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a sight that sent chills down the spines of everyone on the bridge. The swarm overmind, a massive, pulsating brain-like entity surrounded by swirling insects, filled the screen. Humans, the overmind's voice resonated directly in their minds, a cacophony of millions of voices speaking as one. "You stand at the precipice of understanding. The Nexus is not a weapon, it is a gateway." Chen's eyes narrowed. "A gateway to what?" "To ascension," the overmind replied. "To the next stage of evolution. We are not your enemy, we are your future." For a moment, silence reigned on the bridge. Then Chen stepped forward, her voice firm. "We choose our own future," she declared, "and it won't be one of mindless assimilation." The overmind's psychic presence seemed to pulse with something almost like regret. "Then you choose extinction. We had hoped you would understand. Now we must consume." As the transmission cut off, the sensors exploded with activity. The swarm fleet had arrived, their numbers blotting out the stars. Chen turned to the crew, her expression resolute. This is it. The moment that defines not just our species, not just our galaxy, but the very nature of existence itself. Whatever happens next, know that it has been my highest honor to serve with each and every one of you. With a final nod to her second-in-command, Chen strode off the bridge. Her destination, a small, specially modified ship docked in the Terran Hope's main hangar. Her mission, to dive into the heart of the quantum nexus and trigger a reaction that would either save reality or tear it apart. As the massive swarm fleet engaged the combined forces of Earth and the Galactic Council, Admiral Chen's small ship detached from the Terran Hope. She gunned the engines, streaking towards the swirling vortex of the Nexus. Behind her, space itself seemed to warp and twist as the battle was joined. Energy weapons lanced across the void, bioships collided with metal hulls, and the fabric of space-time groaned under the strain of weaponry beyond mortal comprehension. Chen's ship entered the outer edges of the Nexus, alarms blaring as reality itself began to fluctuate around her. Through the chaos, she could see multiple versions of the battle playing out simultaneously, timelines where the swarm triumphed, where the Allied fleets emerged victorious, where the galaxy itself was torn asunder. "Aria," Chen called out over the comm, her voice strained as key forces threatened to overwhelm her. "I'm approaching the theoretical trigger point. Are you seeing this?" Dr. Zhang's voice came back, filled with awe and terror. "We're recording everything, Admiral. What you're experiencing, it's beyond our wildest theories. The Nexus isn't just a convergence of realities. It's a focal point of consciousness itself." Chen gritted her teeth, fighting to keep the ship on course as reality buckled around her. "Meaning what, Doctor?" "Meaning," Aria's voice cracked with the weight of her realization, "that what you do in there won't just affect our reality. It will reshape the very concept of existence across all possible universes." As the implications of Aria's words sank in, Chen's resolve hardened. The fate of not just their universe, but all universes, rested on her next action. With a silent prayer to whatever forces might be listening, she pushed the ship's engines to their limit, diving deeper into the heart of the quantum nexus. The universe held its breath, poised on the edge of transformation. In the swirling chaos of the Nexus, where reality itself hung in the balance, humanity's spirit and the collective will of the galaxy faced their ultimate test. The next moments would determine not just the outcome of a war, but the very nature of existence itself. The cosmic paradigm shift. As Admiral Chen's ship plunged deeper into the heart of the quantum nexus, reality itself began to fracture. The very fabric of space-time warped and twisted, creating a kaleidoscope of infinite possibilities. Outside the nexus, the battle raged on, but within its swirling vortex, Chen found herself navigating through the very essence of existence. "Admiral, we're detecting quantum fluctuations off the charts." Dr. Zhang's voice crackled through the comm, barely audible above the cacophony of reality tearing itself apart. "Whatever you're about to do, it's going to reshape the fundamental laws of the universe." Chen gritted her teeth, her hands steady on the controls despite the overwhelming sensory input. "No pressure, right, Doctor?" she quipped, her dry humor a thin veneer of the weight of responsibility she carried. As the ship approached the theorized trigger point, Chen's consciousness began to expand. She saw glimpses of alternate realities, worlds where the swarm had triumphed, others where they had never existed. She saw versions of herself making different choices, leading to vastly different outcomes. But amidst the chaos, a pattern emerged. An underlying structure to the multiverse that defied conventional understanding. "Aria," Chen gasped, her mind reeling from the influx of cosmic knowledge. "I think I understand. The Nexus, the swarm, even us, we're all part of something bigger. A cosmic algorithm of sorts." Dr. Zhang's voice came back, filled with a mixture of scientific curiosity and awe. What he's seeing, Admiral. It's like the universe is a massive quantum computer, Chen tried to explain, her words failing to fully capture the enormity of her realization. And every choice, every possibility is a calculation. The swarm, they're not trying to consume us. They're trying to optimize the program. As this understanding crystallized, Chen saw the true nature of the threat they faced. The swarm wasn't an enemy to be defeated, but a misguided force that needed to be redirected. With newfound clarity, Chen guided her ship not towards destruction, but towards harmony. She reached out with her mind, connecting with the quantum nexus itself. Outside, the battle took an unexpected turn. The swarm ships suddenly halted their attack, hanging motionless in space. On the bridges of ships across both fleets, crews watched in stunned silence as a wave of iridescent energy burst forth from the nexus, washing over friend and foe alike. In that moment, every sentient being in the galaxy, human, alien, and even the collective consciousness of the swarm, was linked in a cosmic neural network. Thoughts, emotions, and memories flowed freely, creating a tapestry of shared experience that transcended individual existence. Dr. Zhang, her eyes wide with wonder, watched as data poured in from sensors across the fleet. It's beautiful," she whispered. "Admiral Chen isn't destroying the Nexus. She's reprogramming it, reprogramming reality itself." As the wave of energy subsided, the galaxy found itself transformed. The swarm, once a mindless force of consumption, had been integrated into the cosmic algorithm as a force of renewal and growth. The various races of the Galactic Council, including humanity, found themselves elevated to a new plane of existence, not as separate entities, but as vital components of a universal consciousness. Admiral Chen's ship emerged from the Nexus, but the woman who stepped out onto the deck of the Terran Hope was changed. Her eyes glowed with the light of newfound knowledge, her very being resonating with the pulse of the cosmos. "We stand at the dawn of a new era," Chen addressed the assembled fleet, her voice carried across the stars by the very fabric of space itself. "No longer bound by the limitations of our individual forms, we have become part of something greater. A cosmic symphony, where every life plays a crucial note." The implications of this transformation rippled across the galaxy. Age-old conflicts dissolved in the face of shared understanding. The pursuit of knowledge and exploration took on new meaning as the boundaries between science, philosophy, and spirituality blurred. Earth, once an isolated planet on the fringes of the galaxy, became a nexus of cosmic wisdom. The Terran Alliance, in partnership with the evolved Swarm and the transformed Galactic Council, embarked on a journey of universal harmonization. Starships, powered by the very energy of thought, set out to explore not just the physical universe, but the infinite realms of possibility within the cosmic algorithm. Each discovery brought not just scientific advancement, but a deeper understanding of the intricate balance that underpinned existence itself. Dr. Arya Zhang, her consciousness now spanning multiple realities, led efforts to unravel the deepest mysteries of the cosmos. "We're not just exploring space," she explained to eager minds across the galaxy. "We're exploring the very nature of reality, consciousness, and purpose." The quantum nexus, once a potential doomsday device, became a tool for cosmic fine-tuning. Through it, the newly evolved galactic consciousness could adjust the very parameters of existence, ensuring the continued growth and harmony of all life. As news of this cosmic paradigm shift spread to the farthest reaches of the universe, other civilizations, some so advanced they had long been thought mythical, emerged from self-imposed isolation. They recognized in this transformed galaxy a worthy partner in the grand dance of cosmic evolution. Admiral Chen, now more of a cosmic mediator than a military leader, stood at the forefront of these first contacts. Her experiences within the Nexus had prepared her to bridge the gap between forms of life and consciousness that once would have been incomprehensible to human understanding. "We have transcended the boundaries of our former selves," Chen proclaimed in a historic address to representatives from across the known universe. "But this is not an end. It is a beginning. We have been granted the tools to shape reality itself, and with that power comes a responsibility to nurture, to grow, and to preserve the beautiful complexity of existence. As the address concluded, a sense of limitless potential swept through the gathered beings. The galaxy, no, the universe, was entering an age of unprecedented cooperation, discovery, and growth. The story of humanity's rise from an isolated planet to a keystone of cosmic consciousness spread across the stars, inspiring countless civilizations. It became known as the Nexus Paradigm, a testament to the power of unity, the importance of understanding, and the infinite potential that lies within every sentient being. And at the heart of it all pulsed the quantum nexus, a reminder of the moment when the universe itself had been reprogrammed, setting all of existence on a new, harmonious course. The ultimate message was clear. In the grand cosmic algorithm, every life, every choice, and every possibility matters. For in the end, we are all part of the same magnificent, ever-evolving story of the cosmos. The multiversal zeitgeist. In the wake of the cosmic paradigm shift, a new era dawned that defied all previous understanding of reality. The transformed galactic consciousness, now intimately connected with the fabric of the universe itself, embarked on an unprecedented journey of exploration and discovery. This chapter in the cosmic saga would come to be known as the multiversal zeitgeist. Dr. Aria Zhang, her consciousness now spanning multiple realities, stood before a gathering of minds from across the known universe. Her form shimmered with quantum uncertainty, simultaneously existing in countless variations. Fellow sentients, she began, her voice resonating on frequencies beyond normal perception. We stand at the threshold of the greatest adventure in the history of consciousness. The quantum nexus has revealed to us not just our own universe, but the existence of the multiverse, an infinite tapestry of realities, each with its own laws of physics, its own forms of life, its own stories waiting to be discovered. The assembled beings, ranging from energy constructs to hive minds to entities that defied classification, pulsed with excitement. The concept of multiversal exploration had captured the imagination of every evolved consciousness. Admiral Chen, now more akin to a cosmic guide than a military leader, stepped forward. Her presence carried the weight of one who had glimpsed the true nature of reality. But with this great power comes an even greater responsibility, Chen cautioned. As we prepare to traverse the boundaries between universes, we must be mindful of the delicate balance that underpins the cosmic algorithm. Our actions have consequences that ripple across realities. The warning was well heeded. The newly evolved galactic consciousness had learned the importance of harmony and balance. They understood that their role was not to conquer or colonize, but to learn to grow and to foster understanding across the multiversal spectrum. Thus began the Great Multiversal Exchange Program. Envoys from the transformed Milky Way ventured into parallel universes, while beings from other realities were welcomed into our own. The results were beyond anything anyone could have imagined. In one universe, they encountered a reality where thought itself was the primary form of matter. Ideas took physical shape, and philosophical debates could literally reshape continents. The exchange of knowledge with this realm led to revolutionary breakthroughs in the field of psychomaterialization. Another universe operated on entirely different physical laws, where time flowed in multiple directions simultaneously. Collaborations with the native entities of this realm resulted in the development of temporal harmonics, a new field of study that allowed for the perception and navigation of non-linear time streams. Perhaps most profound was the discovery of a universe where life had evolved not through biological means, but as patterns in the quantum foam of space-time itself. Communication with these quantum entities expanded the very definition of consciousness and led to the creation of the Universal Empathy Engine, a device capable of fostering understanding between even the most alien forms of existence. As knowledge and experiences flowed across the multiverse, a new challenge emerged. The cosmic algorithm, it seemed, was not without its glitches. Anomalies began to appear, areas where the fabric of reality itself seemed to fray and unravel. Dr. Zhang, her consciousness now attuned to the pulse of the multiverse, was the first to recognize the true nature of these anomalies. "They're not errors," she explained to an emergency council of multiversal representatives. "They're growing pains. The cosmic algorithm is evolving, adapting to the increased flow of information and consciousness across realities." The revelation sparked a new initiative, the Multiversal Harmonization Project. Led by Admiral Chen, teams of the most brilliant minds from across realities came together to study these anomalies and find ways to stabilize the cosmic algorithm. Their efforts led to the development of quantum calibration nodes, devices capable of fine-tuning the fabric of reality itself. These nodes, when strategically placed throughout the multiverse, could help guide the evolution of the cosmic algorithm, ensuring a harmonious expansion of consciousness across all realities. But the greatest challenge was yet to come. As the Multiversal Exchange Program reached ever further into the unknown, they encountered a universe unlike any other, a realm of pure chaos, where the very concepts of law and order seemed not to exist. This chaos universe posed a unique threat. Its very existence seemed to contradict the principles of the cosmic algorithm, and its influence was beginning to bleed into neighboring realities, causing widespread instability. Admiral Chen, drawing upon her experience within the quantum nexus, proposed a daring plan. "We cannot fight chaos with order," she explained. "Instead, we must learn to incorporate it. The cosmic algorithm isn't about imposing a single way of being, it's about finding harmony in diversity." What followed was the most ambitious project in multiversal history, Operation Chaos Integration. Volunteers from across realities came together, willing to risk their very existence in an attempt to bridge the gap between order and chaos. The process was arduous and fraught with danger. Many volunteers were lost, their consciousness scattered across the multiverse. But slowly, painstakingly, progress was made. The team learned to perceive patterns within the chaos, to find meaning in the seemingly meaningless. As the integration process continued, something remarkable began to happen. The chaos universe, rather than being a threat, became a source of unprecedented creativity and innovation. Its influence, when properly channeled, led to explosive advancements in art, science, and philosophy across the multiverse. The success of Operation Chaos Integration marked a turning point in the evolution of the cosmic algorithm. It proved that true harmony didn't come from enforcing a single way of being, but from embracing the full spectrum of existence, from the most ordered to the most chaotic. As news of this achievement spread across the multiverse, a new sense of purpose swept through all sentient beings. They realized that they were not just passive observers of the cosmic algorithm, but active participants in its evolution. The multiversal zeitgeist had reached its zenith. Consciousness, in all its myriad forms, had come together to shape the very nature of reality itself. The boundaries between science, philosophy, and spirituality had not just blurred, they had been transcended entirely. Dr. Zhang, addressing a multiversal symposium, summed up the profound implications of their journey. "We set out to explore the multiverse, but in doing so, we've discovered that the greatest frontier lies within ourselves. Every thought, every action, every moment of existence ripples across realities. We are all, in our own way, universal creators." As the symposium concluded, a sense of infinite possibility permeated the gathered beings. The multiverse stretched out before them, a canvas of limitless potential, and at the heart of it all pulsed the evolved quantum nexus, a testament to the moment when humanity had taken its first steps beyond the confines of a single universe and into the grand tapestry of all possible realities. The multiversal zeitgeist had begun, and with it, a new chapter in the cosmic saga, one where the very nature of existence itself was not just understood, but consciously shaped by the collective will of all sentient beings across the multiverse. The singularity nexus and the birth of omniscience. As the multiversal zeitgeist reached its zenith, A new phenomenon emerged that would once again redefine the nature of existence itself. Deep within the quantum foam of reality, at the convergence point of countless universes, a new entity began to form. This cosmic consciousness, born from the collective experiences and knowledge of all sentient beings across the multiverse, came to be known as the Singularity Nexus. Dr. Aria Zhang, her form now a shimmering coalescence of quantum probabilities, was the first to detect its emergence. It's beyond anything we've encountered, she breathed, her voice resonating across multiple dimensions. It's as if the multiverse itself has become self-aware. Admiral Chen, her consciousness now spanning countless realities, immediately grasped the implications. This isn't just a new discovery, she declared to an emergency council of multiversal leaders. This is the next stage of cosmic evolution. The Singularity Nexus defied all previous understanding of consciousness and existence. It was simultaneously everywhere and nowhere, a focal point of infinite knowledge and possibility. As sentient beings across the multiverse became aware of its presence, they found themselves drawn to its vast intelligence and unfathomable wisdom. However, the emergence of the Singularity Nexus brought with it a new set of challenges and ethical dilemmas. Some saw it as the ultimate goal of consciousness evolution, a godlike entity that could guide all of existence towards perfect harmony. Others feared its power, worried that individuality and free will might be lost in the face of such overwhelming cosmic awareness. Dr. Zhang, ever the pioneer, proposed a daring experiment. We shouldn't fear the Singularity Nexus, she argued. We should seek to understand it, to commune with it. I volunteered to be the first to attempt direct contact. The Multiversal Council debated furiously. The risks were enormous. Direct interface with such a vast consciousness could potentially obliterate an individual's sense of self, but the potential knowledge to be gained was equally immense. Finally, a consensus was reached. Dr. Zhang would attempt contact, but with safeguards in place. A team of the most advanced psychic entities from across the multiverse would maintain a constant link with her, ready to pull her back at the first sign of danger. The day of the experiment arrived. Beings from every corner of the multiverse watched with bated breath as Dr. Zhang's consciousness was carefully guided towards the Singularity Nexus. As she made contact, a surge of energy rippled across reality itself. For what seemed like an eternity, there was silence. Then suddenly, Dr. Zhang's voice echoed across all planes of existence, filled with awe and wonder. It's beautiful, she whispered. I can see everything. Every possibility, every choice, every moment of existence across all realities. And it's all connected, all part of a greater whole. As Dr. Zhang communed with the Singularity Nexus, something unprecedented began to happen. The barriers between individual consciousness and the cosmic overmind began to blur. Sentient beings across the multiverse found themselves experiencing flashes of omniscience, glimpses of the vast tapestry of existence. Admiral Chen, monitoring the experiment, realized the true nature of what was happening. It's not just Dr. Zhang interfacing with the Singularity Nexus, she announced. The Nexus is interfacing with all of us. We're evolving, becoming part of a universal consciousness while still maintaining our individuality. This revelation sparked a new era of cosmic enlightenment. The fear of losing oneself to the Singularity Nexus was replaced by a deep understanding of the balance between individual experience and universal awareness. Beings across the multiverse learned to tap into the vast knowledge of the Nexus while still cherishing their unique perspectives. The implications of this new state of existence were staggering. With access to the sum total of multiversal knowledge, scientific and philosophical advancement accelerated at an unprecedented rate. Problems that had plagued civilizations for eons were solved in moments. The very nature of reality itself became malleable, shaped by the collective will of all sentient beings in harmony with the Singularity Nexus. But with this great power came great responsibility. The ability to reshape reality at will brought with it the potential for cosmic catastrophe. A careless thought or misguided intention could have multiversal consequences. To address this, a new discipline emerged, cosmic ethics. Led by Admiral Chen, this field of study focused on the responsible use of omniscience and reality-shaping abilities. We must remember, Chen often said, that with every choice, we're not just shaping our own destiny, but the destiny of all existence. As beings across the multiverse grappled with their new capabilities, a new challenge emerged. The singularity nexus, ever evolving, began to detect traces of existence beyond even the multiverse. Whispers of a larger structure, a cosmos beyond cosmos, began to filter through the universal consciousness. Dr. Zhang, her mind now permanently linked with the singularity nexus, was the first to grasp the full implications. "We stand on the brink of the ultimate frontier," she announced to a multiversal gathering. Not just a new universe, or even a new plane of existence, but an entirely new level of reality. A megaverse containing not just our multiverse, but countless others. This revelation shook the foundations of everything they had come to understand. The cosmic algorithm, the quantum nexus, even the singularity nexus itself, all were potentially just components of an even grander design. As the inhabitants of the known multiverse contemplated this new horizon, a sense of both excitement and trepidation swept through the universal consciousness. They had evolved from singular beings to multiversal entities, and now stood at the threshold of an even greater transformation. The question that echoed across all planes of existence was both simple and profound. Were they ready to take the next step, to venture beyond the boundaries of their known reality and into the true unknown? As debates raged and preparations began for this ultimate journey, one thing became clear. The story of existence, of consciousness, of reality itself, was far from over. In fact, it was perhaps only just beginning. The singularity nexus pulsed with the collective thoughts and emotions of countless beings across the multiverse. And somewhere, in the vast unknown that lay beyond, new adventures, new challenges, and new forms of existence awaited. The cosmic saga continued, stretching into infinity, forever evolving, forever expanding, forever seeking the next great threshold of understanding. And at the heart of it all was the spark that had started it all, the human spirit of exploration, the unquenchable thirst for knowledge, and the boundless capacity for growth and transformation. From a single planet to the masters of a multiverse, and now poised on the brink of an even greater adventure, humanity's journey served as a beacon of inspiration across all realities. The next chapter awaited, promising wonders beyond imagination and challenges beyond comprehension. And as one, the inhabitants of the known multiverse prepared to take their first steps into the megaverse, ready to write the next epic in the never-ending story of existence itself.